How close were you to losing your marriage?
We argued, but it was, the worst chemistry that you can have probably in a relationship is where my self-esteem is gone and she's terrified. And out of that terror, the claws come out, and it's the worst thing that can happen to my self-esteem. And the lower my self-esteem gets, the worse she is, the more she's terrified, because she didn't think we were going to, ever be okay again. And so that's the chemistry of it. But it's almost like you said that we really didn't have the luxury. We didn't have the money to get a divorce. We didn't have the luxury of even talking about it. So we kind of stuffed it. And about 4 years later, we were making money and got comfortable again. And all that stuff has a high rate of resurrection. It came back to the surface, and we ended up in the marriage counselor's office. That's when we almost killed each other.
After you got out of the hole?
Yeah, 4 years later.
So because you just had to bury it to survive.
Yeah, we just buried all the emotions of it and never really talked about the things we've been talking about right now. We just said, shut up, we need some money for food, and we can really, good, you have a feeling, but I need to go get some money for food. We'll deal with the feeling later, and so it really was that way. It was kind of a desperation thing. And so, but once we got, almost like a Maslow's hierarchy of needs, once we got off of the basics needs covered, then we start to think about, well, wait a minute, this guy's an idiot. He lost everything. And wait a minute, this woman's meaner than snot when she's mad and afraid. And she about clawed my eyes out, not physically, but metaphorically. And man, and so, yeah. And all of a sudden we're like, we had the luxury of having a feeling. And it wasn't good. It wasn't pretty. And so, yeah, we spent about a year and a half or so with the marriage counselor every week and just learned to put language on what we had been through and have empathy for where the other one had been sitting. And then that allowed us to heal over time.
It was a choice, though, to take that step in and go talk to that marriage counselor and dig deep. And I think that's why so many people choose not to, because it sounds great, just go take, but then you have to actually do the work.
Yeah, it's a pain. Because you got to deal with the person in your mirror, and they're awful.
I'm so glad you said that, though, because I think sometimes we do this, and if we don't do that, it's never.
Well, a good coach, a good marriage counselor is going to call you out on your stuff, not just take sides. I mean,
whose idea was it? Was it together? We got to do this, or did she drag you? You dragged her.
No, there wasn't any dragging. It was like, we got to do something, or this is not, or we're done.
Yeah. And so, you had 3 kids at that time? You had the third
by then
right.
we had 3. Yeah.
Right. What's the biggest thing you learned from therapy then?
Again, I think it gave us structure to put words to what we had been walking in because we hadn't bothered. We were just walking. And then to hear where the other one had been walking in at the same time. And so that gave me the ability to tell what I just told, that she was terrified and my self-esteem. But I didn't sit around and think about my self-esteem was damaged. I didn't have that thought ever. I wasn't smart enough to think about it. And so I was just, again, back to task orientation versus personal analysis or whatever. And so I didn't have the luxury. And so, that's the process. And it gave us language, and it then taught us to fight fair instead of just fight mean. And because she always says she's from Hills of East Tennessee, frying pan throwing there's an Olympic event. So I mean, she was good at it.
I wish I could have been a fly on the wall for that one, or not. Maybe she would have hit me too.
She's a steel magnolia. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Is that the last time you went to marriage counseling or therapy, or have you continued to draw from that?
What we did after that was this thing started to blow up right after that. We were just kind of at a level, but there was nothing into a spotlight yet. But as the spotlight started getting brighter and the money started escalating, those are 2 dangerous things, especially if you're dealing with a lot of wounds. And so we set up several things of accountability in our lives to keep us between the guardrails. And one of them was, for about 10 years, we go back to that same coach, same counselor. She's a professional therapist. We go back once a year and just do a check-in. And if it went rough, we'd do 2 or 3 check-ins, you know. But and she would just, because she was not impressed with Dave Ramsey, you know, and so feisty little woman, and yeah, she helped us a lot in that regard. So we had her as accountability, and then we had, you know, our team of leaders here. The way we build leaders is we hold each other accountable, and Dave's not. It's not like we don't have any emperor has no clothes thing at all. They go, hey, ugly, don't do that, you know.
So that's beautiful advice. I think sometimes we think, oh, I got my therapy, and I'm fixed.
Yeah.
Not thinking about the fact that life still continues. Your life, your wife or your husband's life, your kids' lives, your employees' lives. Like,
Well, and the problem with wealth and fame is it magnifies
yeah.
who you are, good and bad. And so it's gonna burn off all the other stuff. And so if you have an anger problem and you get money, oh my goodness, or you get some fame, oh my goodness. You know, if you have if you're compassionate and you get money, it shows up as a philanthropist. You know, it shows up as the generosity factor goes off the chart. So you just become more of what you are. So whatever is going on that's crazy, you're going to get super crazy. You know, and even your family around you, they'll go crazy. You know, they're magnified too, and it just shows up everywhere.